Hey, how are you guys doing? So today is November the 12th on a Wednesday, and as you can see from my executions, I did take a little bit of more trades than I should have. I'm not gonna lie, yesterday or Tuesday, after having a winning day, I did unfortunately lose my profits and I got locked out of my Alpha Futures account. Because why? Because I'm a moron, and I like gambling apparently. And after that day, I was a little emotional. I was a little bit upset, but I did say to myself, follow your Excel worksheet, follow your plan, your checkbook, and even if you lose today, you'll be fine. And it was a little bit tricky today. Did take some good trades. I would say that. As you can see, I was short bias, but after we swept this liquidity, actually, I'm gonna show you the first trades I took. I normally was really bearish on the day. I had pretty much good executions. Only one trade was that I only took one loss today, which was me trying to pretty much continue to take it to the daily low, which is this candle over here. As you can see, we go to the daily time frame. We can see that this low has not been taken, and it was pretty close, which is why I was pretty much targeting it. But at the same time, the 4 hour and lunch was pretty much the main draw from yesterday, as you can see. Lunch over here, this low was protected. Quite unfortunate because, like I said, that was my main draw, and I would have been done earlier, and I would have not have to take another trade. But as you can see, I did stay disciplined. I waited for my exact how do you say it, trade, and I did. As you can see, I did initially go short over here. I took this 1 minute short with this inverse and this break of structure, which is pretty good trade in my opinion. I was pretty confident. As you can see, we retraced all the way down, broke the lows. I didn't take any partials, but I set my stop at break even. And the only reason I did that was because I saw that ES, as you can see over here, we were still on this 4 hour imbalance, just holding and holding and holding. We didn't go lower. We were just consolidating and waiting for us to go lower. As you can see, after we displaced below this low, um, that's when we actually saw the move uh, us down, and that's when my TP hit, as you can see from lunch. And after that, after this low was taken and we had some displacement, I thought we would go lower, which is why I kind of sold only half. I should have sold maybe like at least five of my cons and left one for, as a runner so it could go to the daily low. But at the same time, I was kind of wrong. So that's pretty much that. I only made $400 on this one trade, but then I did go to NQ and try to. I'm not gonna lie, man. I was being a moron. I tried to, trade again, and I did. As you can see, I tried to short over here and try to see a continuation. This was pretty much my a little continuation play. I was only gonna catch 40 more points, which would have made me up $800 or sorry, $1,200 on the day. So, that would have been it for me, a little 1 to 1, or it was actually a two-hour trade. So perfect lined up. And unfortunately it didn't work. So that's why I felt like we were gonna reverse, especially with the SMT on ES and Q, and ES holding that 4 hour gap um for us to go higher, which pretty much boosted my confidence once again into going long. And over here, same thing. I tried to go short after we went here, and then I took a loss again, which pretty much made me go to break even or lose my profits that I originally had of the $400. And then I was down $400 again because I took the loss here. And then I switched my what's it called, bias too long because we were holding this area. We wanted to go honestly lower. I think this first initial play should have worked, or this one should have worked, which is why I exited out pretty early because I did see a 1 minute inverse, which pretty much was my entry, and it was kind of scary. We were consolidating, as you can see, for a long time, and I pretty much top ticked this all the way to the top. So I'm pretty lucky, honestly, because then, as you can see, we retraced, and if I was a little bit more greedy, I would have been, I would have paid for that. As you can see, look, I top ticked that and boom. So I'm up pretty much $1,200 in a day. It pretty much negates the loss that I had on Tuesday after, taking a win that same day and then, losing it all over on Asia. Um, Pretty annoying, pretty unfortunate because, like I said, I do want to follow my plan. As you can see, I'm up 51,000 and I'm showing you this. I'm sorry, I'm up $1,000 in this account, funded account once again. And I just want to show you this, guys, because I want to make sure that I don't do that either again. And like I said, if I do take a loss, uh, I just should leave the charts. And like I said, I also did say that if I get two break evens, I would stop trading. And after this one hit, or the micro one hit, then, well, I should have stopped trading, but I didn't. So I'm just pretty much yapping and talking to myself because, this is my own personal journal. It's not like anyone's gonna fully watch this video anyway, so I don't really care. But like I said, pretty good trade. I'm gonna start, like I said, following my Excel worksheet. Still not finished because I'm just too lazy. I'm actually gonna update it because I did see something that I could definitely wait for, especially in my trades, which is pretty much when I get break even on days like this, or we have a higher time frame imbalance where we're consolidating. It's more likely to get my break even and, then go lower to my TP, or go back to my TP, because we are in a range. So it's most likely, I would most likely have my stop loss um only go to break even when a significant low is taken on the opposite indice. So for example, ES didn't take out the low over here because we were still like really high, and it was pretty annoying. So after this low was taken, after this low was placed, that's when I could have seen some, a retracement and an inverse, which could have been my entry, which actually was my entry. As you can see, this was the first trade where I actually took my take profit and didn't get break even this time. But I can manage that, and after we broke that same low that was formed after the displacement, that would have been a perfect break even in my opinion, instead of putting a break even before anything crucial hits. But I mean, at the same time, it's kind of weird and unpredictable because we are in a higher time frame imbalance in ES and NQ we're not, which is why we're just consolidating and going ranges, which could be easy fake outs, which I don't think there's a problem with, getting out and putting it break even, especially if, the New York low was hit, which is why I kind of went break even a little bit earlier. And yeah, other than that, that's pretty much all I did for today. So we ended up back on the day, like I said, up $1,000 in the account. And now all we can do is wait for tomorrow and trade. I'm not gonna trade overnight. I promise you guys that, and I'm going to just move on with my day until tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be a new day, a new trading opportunity. And for me, I think honestly we would probably go lower, or we might just range bound, as you can see, because look, the 4 hour is just still in the middle. We're just doing nothing. But honestly, I think we'll go lower and then maybe go to this low. But that's up to the market, so we'll see how it goes. But let me know if you guys took a win or a loss, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.